Hi, it's Vex, and today we have the staples of August 2023. And you know what? Last month I mislabeled my title. Instead of saying July, I said June. What a dummy. But I will fix it this month, and I'll name this video August Commander Staples of 2023. In front of you are the staples I have. These are just bread and butter staples. Staples are not flashy. They don't have super high impact, but they add consistency and help you advance the game to a winning board state. That's right. There are some high impact cards, which we'll put aside right here. This one and maybe this one are more high impact staples, but we do have our cycle that we talked about in our previous video about how in the world I missed this for Lord of the Rings. We have the cycles, the land cyclers right there. We have 4 creatures, all 6 mana value, and then various power, toughness, and abilities. But essentially, they land cycle. Can get a non-basic land, get a triome, can get a dual land, can get a tap dual land, get all the fun stuff. Right here, this is a spell, so this is the most powerful of them all. Lorien Revealed, 3 white, or 3 blue, sorry. Draw 3 cards, island cycle. This is really good in late game, right? Instead of drawing an island or a dual land, you draw this. You're like, I'll just pay 5, draw 3. It's not exciting, but adds consistency. This can also get you a triome, helps fix your mana. So I think, or get you an untapped island if you need to, or a watery grave, or steam vents, such like that. I think it's super powerful. These aren't as impactful. These are just normal cards that you can just play as creatures. Sometimes you need an extra creature to block. And so these are influential. This can get you food. This pump things. This Eagles of the North pumps things too. I'm not going to read this. You guys can read this. You guys know what to do. Troll of Khazad-dûm is the second best one because it's black. You can cycle it early, reanimate it, get like Super Menace 6/5. So I think these are very powerful because they can get non-basic lands. Now, speaking of Lorien Revealed, we have, of course I had to say it for this one, Lorn of the Third Path. Again, just a staple, like Reclamation Sage in green, except for this is a legendary creature that has Rec Sage ability and better. 2 and a white, legendary creature, human artificer, has vigilance, way better than Rec Sage already. When ETBs, destroy up to 1 target artifact or enchantment. That's exactly the Rec Sage text. And then you get tap you and target opponent each draw a card. So you can always, you might not want to give opponents cards, but essentially you set you and another opponent ahead of the other 2 players. So you're winning on that exchange. So you tap, draw a card, give it to opponent who's behind, or give it to opponent that you can negotiate with. That the political power with Lorien of the Third Path, I think is really good. So Lorien Revealed, Lorien of the Third Path, of course. So those are some staples there. This adds, a little more help destroying problematic permanents and gives you more card draw. Or can, kill Ristic Study, etc. And also kills Esper Sentinel too. Don't forget that one. So that is really cool there. Then we have, I built Narset in like Exile, so I have Spellslinger synergies, and I seem to be building a lot of Spellslinger decks. And of course, to celebrate Commander Masters, which I keep on opening this guy up, and Talran, the Sky Summoner, 2 blue. Whenever you cast an instant sorcery, create a 2/2 blue Drake creature token with flying. So I think this is one of the best Spellslinger ones where you could create a 2/2 flyer. Helps end games quickly if you can pay a lot of spells. And with the Spellslinger deck, I have these 2 old cards that have not been reprinted in a while. Cards that let you cycle plus give evasion. Leap, Shadow Rift. 1 blue each, right there. They both draw a card. Instance. This one gives a creature flying. This one gives a creature shadow. So you could just, play this. Maybe end a turn, whenever, just to draw a card, cycle it. Trigger Talran. Or play this on Lorien, right? Give her shadow, vigilance, attack, and then draw some cards. Same thing for leap. Give flying, so give some evasion. You could also, surprise block a Dothic Voidwalker with Shadow Rift. Surprise block, Talran or whatever with leap. So I think it's really cool that they're instants there. All right. Speaking of utility cards, Changeling Outcast. Creature Shapeshifter, 1 black. Can't block and can't be blocked. So this is really good in typo type decks. My Sidar Jabari deck I had, Yuriko is insane. Yuriko's ninja. It's a ninja. So I think that is really neat to have that. Let's put this in the black pile here. That's it for black here. Then we're skipping red for now. We have red cards. We'll get back to there. Some utility creatures. I think I like to add lots of mana dorks in my pile of staples. I have Llanowar Elves, Elvish Mystic, Birds of Paradise, and mana dorks, but I don't have these 3-color mana dorks, which I don't play that often because they're 3 colors each, right? But in those 3 colors, I always like to have this mana dork, Ignoble Hierarch for Jund and Noble Hierarch for Bant. So just another, say, utility players, help you ramp. Gives you creatures, makes your creatures bigger because they have Exalted. This taps for Bant mana, Jund mana, and Exalted, and 0/1. So they're identical except for they tap for different manas. All right. Then we have another card from Lord of the Rings that I want to declare as a staple. Mount Doom. Coming to play untapped that produce 2 colors. This one does. It does cost you a life every time you use it, but if you have Orborg, it might help prevent life loss, or somebody else's Orborg, or you have a Maya. The cool part is 1 black red. Mount Doom deals 1 damage to each opponent. Now you might say, Vex, 1 damage is not a lot. Look, I've seen people win or lose on 1 life. So you have this advantage. You can hold this up secretly down there. You say, I play Mount Doom. You tell everybody what you do. They might not know what it does, or might not read the card, or might not remember it's there. They're at 1 life. You could be like, they're trying to Swords of Plowshares your Troll Khazad-dûm. You're like, no. Kaboom, 1 life. Then it also has another ability that might or might not be useful, but can be played. 5 black red, sacrifice Mount Doom and a legendary artifact. The One Ring, of course. Choose up to 2 creatures, then destroy the rest. Activate only as a sorcery. So you can just destroy everything except for 2 creatures of your choosing. I think they're starting to build a lot of legendary artifacts. You can sacrifice Sword of the Animus. I believe that's a legendary. Let's see, Bolus of Citadel, the One Ring, of course. So if you have this card, you might want to saw an extra legendary artifact just in case you need to use the last ability. But it's mainly there for the untapped nature and the second ability to ping. It does 3 damage, so it's pretty good because if you have 3 opponents. So I think these are colorless cards here. Let's talk about these more high impactful cards. I think Wonder is an insanely high impactful card. It's like a utility card. It's not like super flashy, but what it does is kind of flashy. It's 3 blue, flying 2/2, which it's bad on rate, but as long as Wonder is in your graveyard and you control an island, creatures you control have flying. That is right. And I had this in my Sardar Jabari deck, and Sardar Jabari has looting, eminence looting. Discard this, make all your knights fly up, and then attack for lethal out of nowhere, which is amazing. I had this in my Rafine deck too, so this is very useful in those decks that help you discard or get things to the graveyard. Sack decks that are blue. You put a Wonder out there, attack, everything that's flying. It's very, very good. So there's a lot of blue cards this month. Then have a new card from Baldur's Gate. Not Baldur's Gate when we're talking about Lord of the Rings. Wrong set. The Black Gate. The gate part confused me, I guess. Legendary land gate. And this is another gate for your gates deck if that really matters. That's interesting that they did that, but it is a gate, so why not? As a black gate enters the battlefield, you may pay 3 life. If you do, it enters. If you don't, it enters the battlefield tap. You pay 3 life, bolt it in, shock it in, and then you could tap to add 1 black, so it's like a 3 life swamp. The important part is much upgraded Rogue's Passage, kind of. 2 black tap. Choose a player with the most life or tied for the most life. Target creature can't be blocked by creatures that player controls this turn. So essentially, it grants unblockability to the person with the highest life total or tied. I think it's really cool. You can sneak things in there. Sometimes you don't have Wonder to make things fly, or changing Outcast. You need sneak something in. The black gate's really cheap because Rogue's Passage is really, really expensive. This is like 1 in a black tap. So 3 mana total because you got to tap your black gate to sneak something in. So I think it's really good if you need your commander to come in. You got 7 power commanders and such like that. The black gate. Now, some of these cards are, the next set of cards, I have these as ultra staples, including every deck of that color. I really like to have having tons of different command towers, so I just will add this to the staple set. So I can just add some variety instead of seeing the same old command tower over and over again. I have this. Blasphemous Act came in the a commander precon. I like having different arts because I've always used the same art over and over again. So just having different art, when I do these deck techs, I really love changing up the different arts, having a little more variety. I try to stay away from the full art. Sometimes I do have full arts, but I think I will change all my stables to regular art because I believe that's probably the most bling version now is regular art because everybody has bling versions. So you want the true bling version, the regular art. Blasphemous Axe is so cool. And then have another Balagate Recovery. Love this card. Just return something from your graveyard to your hand, and then it comes into play with an ETB tapped Forest. And I think just having that extra land count just makes you feel a little more secure and be able to have both modes. MDFC, you could just play this as a land if necessary, which I do play half the time. Or again, late game, you could play this. Maybe pick up your Troll Khazad-dûm or anything you cycled out. Your Generous Ant right here. And it has ETB, create food. And the Ant's got reach too. Don't forget that. 5/7 is huge. You could play this if you have tons of mana. 9, you play this, get your Generous Ant back. You could land cycle and turn it into a land. Or you could play it as a big creature with a food token that could block things, block some big dragons. It's got a big fat body. So I think that's pretty cool there. So those are my staples of August 2023. Hopefully I get the title correctly. If not, tell me in the comments below that I messed it up again. I've got some cool cards. It's actually more than usual. And, these role players are great. And I think I really like adding staples of different archetypes, like Spellslingers right here, discard Aristocrats. These overlap a lot. These are a lot of creature type decks, discard decks, Aristocrats can sack this, stuff like that. Some staples. These are generic good cards. These are just generic good cards, but these are like more towards the Spellslinger. I do like having things that go with themes, but also generic stuff. I think last month I did Enchantress theme, which I will build, was it a Nixia, whatever her name is, the Hand of Erebos deck soon. So stay tuned for that one. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, give the video a thumbs up, smash the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to be alerted for videos in the future. I do have the deck list in the description below. Deck list, what are we talking about? It's the wrong video. I have the list of staples in the description below. And if you want to support me, click on those affiliate links, help support the channel, help me buy more staples because I love having staples. And as always, have a wonderful day.